Bloomberg reports that in Florida, the COVID-19 Wuhan virus is out of control, and in California, Los Angeles is on the brink. Bloomberg also posted a video of a spokesman for the World Health Organization reporting that it sees intense transmission of the virus worldwide. It appears the second wave may be upon us, or perhaps the first one never left, or perhaps this entire situation is being overblown. In any event, government is doing what it does best: overreacting and standing in the way. We'll specifically look at the rationale to lock down in this episode of Analysis Behind the News, where we provide the perspective that you can use to restore American liberty and independence. The Bloomberg article also reported their remarks come as U.S. officials mull further restrictions geared at curbing rising case counts and hospitalizations. With the world braced for a fresh onslaught of the new coronavirus, the U.S. is getting hit harder than most. 88% of Arizona's intensive care beds are being used, while on a single day this month, Florida recorded more new infections than the whole of the European Union. U.S. News and World Report reports that Spain's infection rate tripled 3 weeks after lockdown was eased. Plus, according to CNBC, more than half of U.S. states have a statewide mask mandate. So with all of this activity to quote-unquote just do what's right from the pro-mask, pro-medical establishment, it might seem a bit lonely for those that decide to not play this game. As the New American continues to point out, freedom is the cure for what ails this country. For instance, Dennis Barrett asked the question in an online headline, "Do states need to lock down because ICU beds are filling up?" He suggested in the article, "The nature of the disease caused by COVID-19 strongly suggests that lockdowns for this purpose are unnecessary. Despite the mainstream media fear propaganda based on rapidly increasing case counts, the important fact remains that the vast majority of people infected with the virus will either have no symptoms or mild symptoms and will not need to be hospitalized." Mr. Barrett also noted that expert epidemiologist John P. Ioannidis of Stanford University described the impact of COVID-19 on the U.S. healthcare system. He said, "The predictions of most mathematical models in terms of how many beds and how many ICU beds would be required were astronomically wrong," Ioannidis said. Indeed, the healthcare system was not overrun in any location in the U.S., although several hospitals were stressed. Conversely, the healthcare system was severely damaged in many places because of the lockdown measures taken. These lockdown measures have their own debilitating measures that are largely unreported, including suicides, depression, and adverse effects on children's health and development, as well as the suppression of building a stronger immune system to help create the herd immunity. As Mr. Barrett wrote in one of his articles while under lockdown in April, "The idea has been set up by propaganda in the press and by demagogic politicians and accepted by a frightened population that we face a deadly dichotomy. We can save people by shutting down and putting essential businesses under the control of government, or we can reopen with business as usual and cause the deaths of millions. This is an oversimplification at best and a pernicious lie at worst." He continues, "A free people engaged in economic operations in a free market has proven without question and over centuries to be the greatest engine of innovation and prosperity possible. By contrast, government control stifles production and squelches innovation. In facing the coronavirus crisis, it is important not to underestimate the value of freedom and overestimate the efficacy of government action. In fact, if we really want a cure, get government out of the way and let the world's billions get back to their lives and work. In the end, it will be freedom that provides the cure." If you are in a situation of lockdown or are mandated to wear a mask, remember that if the order is not being enforced, then the emperor has no clothes. Talk to your local county sheriff, your local police department, your local town or city attorney. Find out what enforcement is taking place and plan accordingly. The whole point is to find those authorities who can help nullify those orders. And to learn more about nullification, download a free PDF of this booklet entitled The Founder's Brilliant Solution to Big Government, Article 6. Links are in the video description, or head over to jbs.org and look for the Countering COVID-19 Action Project. I'm Bill Hahn for the John Birch Society, and until next time, stay informed, stay active, and of course, stay safe, Patriots.